Welcome back on this glorious and amazing day to the Isaac Wolowik channel, where all intellectual and awesome individuals like yourself join for wisdom that I have gathered from everyone around me. What's the second and most probably the final example of deflection within global deflection is, as we know, China is going through a tough time like many other countries. The youth unemployment is through the roof, even when numbers are not exactly reported, but even with the numbers we have. And yet, it is usually the excuse of external forces and hostile countries that are causing all that. So they deflect. Instead of seeing what can we do to clean up our mess internally, they deflect and they blame other countries, and sometimes even blame that today's youth are overly educated and they're very picky and they don't want to do simple jobs, which that applies to many other countries as well, not only China. So we're not picking on one country. It just gave you one from America last week, one from China this week, where it's external hostile countries that are intervening, and that's what's causing for their economy to go down. Now, the blame game could be very, very painful in global and countries, also within families or in relationships, because then you're focusing on the blame of deflecting versus what could we do to change this fast? What kind of policies could we have to change it fast? So here you go, the second and short and simple final example of deflecting. And sadly, I want to finish up with one thing, that it's hard, at least for me, and I know for people around me, to deal with this whole deflecting, because although we were always taught not to blame and not to deflect, most adults, at least in the world that I lived in the places that I lived in, being in the classrooms that I was, there was constant deflection. There was deflection of why communities are suffering and why this is suffering, always deflection. Instead of doing something which is initially painful, taking responsibility, which is a bit painful, but then you're free. You could actually look for solutions and not blaming the previous administration or my lover or other countries. So let's be mature, let's evolve, and let's do something we have never done in our lives. Look straight into the issue and ask one question: how can I change it? What could I do to change the situation, instead of delving into deflection, which gives you a short-term gain or illusion of a gain and long-term pain? I'd rather take a short-term pain and have a long-term gain of to fix up any situation globally, locally, within my community and within my own heart. Thank you very much. I have so many more topics to talk about in the next series. You could message me privately, or you could do it over here, which one I shall choose to do. And and we'll choose the first one that comes to mind. But if you guys have any preference, I will do that. I will take out of the box one of the many, many topics, because I could talk for the next 30 and 50 years, because there's so much to express, there's so much to learn, and there's so much to realize beneath the surface. But until then, regardless, you are good, intrinsically good. Yes, 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 but you don't know me. I do know you. Whatever you're going to tell me, that's externally. That's some other reasons. Go to your core, build from your core, expand from your core, because your core is pure and holy and only knows of good. Yes, when we feel like garbage, we do act like garbage. When we believe since childhood that we're bad, we act bad. Once we regain that confidence that comes from the core of our soul, that we know intrinsically we're good, the world around you will shine and look so beautiful, just like the core of your heart. But until then, remember that you are greater than you think you are. Thanks for joining. Thanks for listening.